cmpradio.net, the voice of Chester. cmpradio.net, it's the station.
cmpradio.net, it's the station. Listen, man, let's cultivate together. Bring us all your show ideas. Content creators, we're looking for that. Videographers, we're looking for that. You can be a part of the next great big thing that takes place right here in Chester, Pennsylvania. Let's cultivate together, man.
Small city, big dreams. Nothing's ever as big as it seems. So dream on. Small city, big dreams. Nothing's ever as big as it seems. So keep going.
Good morning. What's going on? How is everybody doing? How are you doing? Man, it feels good. It's good to be here. It's good to be here. It's good to be alive. Man, just checking out how I look on the screen over here, man. You know what I mean? Try to keep myself up a little bit, make sure everything's on and up and up. But anyway, what's going on? City of Chester, how we doing? Oh, man, it's good to be here. Like I say, great morning to you. Good morning, great morning, and all that good stuff. Welcome back to another episode, another edition of Week Strong. This is life. This is life, right? Simply, you know what I mean? There's other ways I can describe what I do on here. Some would say preaching, some would say hollering, some would say this, that, and the third. Some would say whatever, churchy. Some would say religion. Some would say whatever you want to call it. But you know what? Let me just say, because that's a great segue. That's a great segue into what I'm about to say, right? That's a great segue into what I'm about to say, right? Because listen, too often we have too many people that be like, it's too many people that be trying to define things, right? It's too many people that try to categorize and label and put you in certain boxes, right? Oh, okay, yeah, this is a religious thing, huh? Okay, this is this kind of thing. Oh, this is preaching. Oh, this is churchy stuff. Oh, is it? Is that what you think this is? Is that what you think this is? Is that how you would categorize or define it? I'm glad you think that. But listen, this is life. This is purpose. This is wholeness. This is peace. This is redemption. This is power. Okay? This is restoration. This is life. Simple as that. And that defies any category you can try to opinionize and categorize in your own mind. So let me just start off by saying that. But anyway, CMP Radio, cmpradio.net, cultivating mature positivity. And let me say this, when you cultivate something, like when you cultivate in anything, you gotta rough it up, right? You gotta rough it up. You gotta give it something that it ain't used to. Like when you're cultivating the ground to plant a seed, you gotta work the ground. You gotta rough it up. You gotta bring up some stuff that you will otherwise keep hidden. You gotta rough it up to plant, to cultivate. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to rough something up in a loving, peaceful way. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, cultivating mature positivity, consistently making progress, Chester made products, changing meters perspective, changing minds powerfully. Listen, weak, strong, born leader. To be honest, I wasn't even going to come on today. Let me tell you why. Let me start with just some transparency and some introspective honesty first, right? Let's start off by doing that. How about we do that? Let's start with some honesty and transparency. I wasn't even going to come on today, mainly because this was my wedding anniversary weekend. So shout out to my wife. We are celebrating our marriage anniversary, 12 years, been married 12 years, this year, been together all together about 18 years, but married for 12. And so we was celebrating that. And so, so my first mind was just like, yo, listen, I'm in chill mode. I'm in relaxed mode. I'm in wife mode, right? I'm in family mode. It's like, yo, I ain't coming up. Let me call or text somebody. Let me call or text P or whoever. Let me just be like, listen, I'm sorry, but I can't make it today. Boom, boom, boom. You already know this is why. Boom, boom, boom. And keep it moving. Because I am that kind of guy. Listen, I love coming on here. Don't get it twisted for 1 second. I love coming on here. And let me say now, I already said this before. You know what I mean? But in case you never heard me say it or haven't watched me before or whatever the case may be, I don't come on here, right? I don't come on here for you. I don't. I come on here. This is for me. This is my purpose. This is my dream. This makes me feel good. This makes me like, listen, when I go back and I listen to the podcast episodes that I did myself, when I go back and listen to some of the preaching episodes I did myself, I make myself happy again. I don't care if anybody ever listened to it or heard it a day in their life. That don't matter to me. When I go back and listen to the stuff I do on here, I'll be hyped up. It makes me happy. It brings me joy. I'm like, dang, I can't believe that was said on there. Woo, my goodness. So this is for me. Now let me also say this, because I don't want to make it seem like it's selfish. It's for me, but true love, see, this is true love. It's true life, right? So when you doing stuff truly, right? When you doing stuff in the true way, you do it for you, but other people just get the benefit and other people get the overflow of what you're actually doing for you. And that's the truth. Other people just get the benefit of what you do. They get the overflow. So if anybody ever watched me and got an overflow of something, oh man, that's powerful. That's powerful. I love it. I love you. And I'm proud of that. You know what I mean? That's a blessing. Don't get it twisted. But like I said before, that's just the overflow of what's already how I think about it or what it does to me. You know what I mean? So listen. So if you get blessed by something I said, right? if you get inspired, if you get motivated, if there's some insight of wisdom or knowledge that you may glean from anything that I ever say, imagine what it does for me. Oh, man. But anyway, so wasn't even going to come on today. This, that, and the third. Me and my wife celebrating our marriage anniversary. But I felt, but I felt pressed. I felt led. I felt led to come on here and speak and say something was put on my heart for me to say. And how many of you truly know that when it's something that's been laid on you or something that's pressed on you to do, then you better go do it. You better go do it. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if it's this going on, that going on, something with this. If something gets pressed on your heart, then you best go do it. You know what I mean? So I felt like it was pressed on my heart for me to come in and say this on here this morning. But anyway, so let's get to it real quick. This ain't that. This ain't that. This ain't that. Now, I started off by saying, when I first came on here, I started off by saying, a lot of people, whether they realize it or not, whether it's intentional or not, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I ain't going to get into all that either. I ain't going to get into, whether people try to box you in or categorize or try to label you or define you or dumb it down. Listen, it's people that do that intentionally, and it's people that, it's people that do that intentionally, and then it's people that do that ignorantly. Oh, man. Remember those two words. If you don't remember anything about this word of life today, if you don't remember anything about this word of love, if you don't remember anything about this word of power, if you don't remember anything about what I say today, just remember that some people do things intentionally and some people do things ignorantly. Now, I'm not going to get into the specifics. You go figure that out. You figure that out. But I want to say that people have done it to me, right? People have, whether it was intentional or ignorant, I don't know what it was. But I got a word. I got a word for people. I got a word for a point of view. I got a word, listen, I got a word for opinionated people out there today. I got a word for people that try to, that when they hear you, right? When they see you or when they hear an element of you or a facet of you, they take that facet, they take that component of you and then try to box you in over here and say you just that. Yeah. Listen, whoever you are, whether it's whether it's intentional or whether you do it without realizing it, I don't know what it is. And like I said, to be honest, that's on you to figure out. But whatever side of the table you on, whether it's intentional or ignorant, let me tell you this ain't that. You see, when I come on here and when I speak and when I preach and when I talk about different things, you better stop trying to box me in to a religious category. This ain't that. I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know who I'm talking to this morning. I don't know who I'm talking to, but I'm talking to somebody. I'm talking to people that got the wrong idea about who I am and what I do. I'm trying to put you in the right frame of mind. Something is going on. This ain't that. This ain't that. This ain't that. Listen. Man. When you have somebody that has been called, redeemed, restored, empowered, enabled, you can't put a limit, you can't put a lid on that. Listen, In case you never watched the podcast I have on here on CMP Radio, you can catch that every other Monday. It's called Hole is the Hole. But if you have catch that in any capacity, you know who I am and what I'm here to do. By now, I'm sure you got some kind of inclination by now. But maybe you never listened and maybe you don't. I don't know what side of the table you on. I don't know if you tuned in and love it. I don't know if you never tuned in. I don't know if you tuned in for 5 seconds and got off. I don't know where you at. But surely you happen to have an inclination by now. I'm here to shift dimensions. We say this is cultivating mature positivity. Well, I'm here to cultivate, and I'm here to dig up, and I'm here to rough up, and I'm here to bring a message that's going to inspire you and motivate you for better. That's the gist of it. It's more intricacies to it. It's more details to it that I ain't gonna get into right now. But I'm gonna just say that's the basis of it. But I gotta tell you, for the people who keep on or who wanna try, should I say try? Because you ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna do it. You see, it's important for you to understand this about me. It's important for you to understand this in general, but understand this about me. You see, when somebody is truly blessed, oh my gosh, don't get me started on here. This is Weak Strong on CMP Radio, and I'm Born Leader in case you didn't know. Welcome to the show. We just getting started, and at the same time, I'm almost done. But let me just say this. When somebody is truly blessed, there ain't nothing you can do to minimize it or to corrupt it or to categorize it or to label or define by whatever standards of judgment you try to define it by. Oh my gosh. I don't know what your idea is of me. I don't know what you think I'm trying to do. But let me just tell you this. And like I said before, I don't even know directly who I'm talking to, but I know the people out there, I know they know exactly who I'm talking to. Now let me say this. Let me just say this. I ain't talking to nobody specific. This is not directed specifically. This is just speaking in general, and I'm speaking into it. Oh man, I'm speaking into the atmosphere. This is for whoever has done or whoever it might be for that might try to do something in the future. You can't corrupt what God has blessed. Oh my gosh. If you don't remember anything, you best remember that line. You can't corrupt what God has blessed. You can't corrupt what God has chosen, what the Lord has chosen, excuse me. And now let me say this on here. Oh man, you can't corrupt what the Lord has blessed. You can't minimize. You can't categorize or minimize what God has blessed. When the Lord truly blesses somebody, he opens up their understanding. He opens up how they do things. He enlightens and illuminates everything, every dimension of one's being. So this ain't that. If you think this is another person coming along, just who be preaching on here, who be hollering, screaming, I don't know what he taught. This ain't. I don't know what you think, whether it's intentional or whether it's ignorant or whether somebody told you to think that way. You see, let me tell you something. You see, a lot of us a lot of us, when it really gets down to it, and when it really boils down to it, a lot of us just be going off other people. What you've been told before, what you've been taught before, your instinct. Let me tell you something about your gut instinct. Let me tell you something about your gut instinct. Now there's a certain angle, there's a certain perspective that when it comes to your gut instinct, you gotta follow that. You gotta follow that. You know what I'm saying? Listen carefully to what I'm about to say. Listen very closely. When it comes to following your gut, most times that's the right way to go. I ain't gonna hold you on that. I ain't gonna hold you. Most times when you follow your gut, follow your instinct, follow kind of like that little voice inside that be like, don't do that. Most times it's correct. Most times it's the right thing to do. Listen to it and don't do it. But let me tell you this though. Even though most times that may be the case, it don't mean it's right all the time. Oh man. You see, we got a lot of people that trust their gut all the time. Ah, man. But you also got to have some discernment and some ability to know and understand that even though most times it could be correct, that don't mean all the time. So listen, whatever your gut instinct or whatever your judgment or point of view or perspective on who I am and what I'm here to do, that's on you. That's on you to figure that out. I'm just here to tell you that this ain't that. This ain't that. This is not that. Whatever your gut instinct has told you about me and about what I do and about who I represent, this ain't that. You can't put me in a religious category. You can't put me in a church category. I'm not in that category. I'm here to defy categories. Stop trying to define somebody who's here to defy. My gosh. You see, and I'm almost done. I ain't staying long today. I just want to say, stop trying to define somebody who's here to defy. You see, I'm above your opinion. I'm above your gut instinct. I'm above what you may think. I'm above what you rationalized. I'm above what you trying to minimize. I'm above what you trying to label. Don't put me in that box. This ain't that. Like I said before, this is life. This is love. And this extends to all categories. This extends to every fiber of your being. This is not church. This is not religion. I don't like that box. Don't put me in that category. This is more than that. I need you to understand what I'm saying. This ain't that. Why? Listen. Finally, because I ain't staying long today. Normally when I come on here, I'm kind of long-winded. I ain't staying long today. But finally, let me say this. You see, there's a way that seems right to a man, to a woman. But the end of that
is death. You see, there's a way that feels right. There's a way that, it feels like I'm right to think about this person like this. It seems right to put born leader in a religious category. It seems right to do that. It feels so right. When he comes on here in CMP, I see him praying at different times. When he comes on here, he be talking about God in the Word. When I see him come on here, he be mentioning Jesus. So it seems right, and it feels right to box him into a category of religion. It seems right. But let me tell you, there's a way that seems right, but the end thereof is death. You better stop trying to define me and define what I do inside your own little nifty mind. I don't fit inside that. I'm above that. This is born leader. This is weak strong. I'm almost done. I ain't staying long today. I just came to say that. Don't box me in. You can't corrupt. You can't rationalize or minimize what God has blessed. When somebody is truly blessed, they defy categories. They don't fit into a neat box. That's what it means to be blessed. Don't get me started. If you don't remember nothing, just remember that being blessed, when somebody is blessed, you can no longer box them in. It's impossible. Although you can try. So there's a way that seems right. There's a way that feels right. Be careful with your gut instinct. Sometimes it's right. Sometimes it's right. I give you that. But not every time your instinct is right. Not every time. It's just a word of advice. It's just a word of counsel. It's just a word of love. Stop trying to define somebody who's here to defy. If we truly here to cultivate something, then we gotta make people uncomfortable. We gotta rough it up. When you cultivate the ground to plant that seed, you gotta till, you gotta rough it up. You gotta process that thing. This is a rough life. This is a rough word. This is uncomfortable. But at the same time, it's love. Whatever you thinking or whatever you trying to do, this ain't that. This is a new thing. This is a new thing that's going to cause your ears to tingle. This is something like you never heard before. This is different. This defies categories. This is dimension shifting. This is the multi-dimensional. This ain't church. This ain't religion. You better stop listening to that voice in your head that's lying to you, that's making you think something that it ain't. This ain't that, baby. This ain't that. This is Weak Strong, and I'm Born Leader on CMP Radio this beautiful Sunday. I don't care if it's raining. I don't care if it's cloudy. It's not about, listen, and stop doing that too. You know what I mean? The day's cloudy and rainy. You want to be like, it's a beautiful day. You woke up. It's a beautiful day. Come on, man. It's not what you look at, it's what you see. Born leader, weak strong. CNP Radio holds the whole. This is dimension shifting. Chester City, you already know what it is. You can't corrupt what God has blessed. Born leader.
It's born leader. Work hard, expect nothing, right? That's right.